There is so much noise around now saying that you shouldn't pay your tithe.
Make una listen very carefully.
And I will tell you the reason why there is so much noise in Nigeria. It's not Nigeria that started paying tithe. It has started even before they brought the gospel to us. The Pentecostals have been paying tithes now for more than 100 years. There's no noise anywhere else in the world saying you shouldn't pay your tithe. The truth of the matter is that some people are afraid of you. They have discovered that you have become very influential. And they have discovered that if they don't do something to stop you, you will take over the nation. And whether the devil likes it or not, you will be great. And so they began this, they found out that one of the sources by which God had been sustaining his church is through tithing. They said Jesus didn't ask us to tithe. So I'm going to ask them to put on the screen for you a passage. Just one is enough. Matthew 23 verse 23. Matthew 23 verse 23. First of all, put it there in King James Version. And please make it big so that everybody can read it. Put it on the screen. He says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier, please put this thing on the wall, the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. And then he said, these ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. In case you don't understand King James Version, I will ask that they put it on in the New Living Translation. That's modern English now that you can see. Could you contract it a little so they can see? Oh, God bless my engineers. Anyway, I will read it to you. It says Matthew 23 verse 3, Matthew 23 verse 23. He said, what sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites? For you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income from your herb gardens, but you ignore the more important aspects of the law, justice, mercy, and faith. He said, you should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. This is Jesus speaking. What did Jesus ask you to do? You tithe. He said you should tithe. And he added, yes. When God is going to judge us on the day of judgment, He's not going to base His judgment on what is on the internet or what is on the Facebook or what is any other form of communication. He's going to say, can't you read for yourself? What did I say? Jesus is my Lord. I will do whatever He says, not anybody else.
Hello guys, I understand that many people are sons and daughters of Daddy Enoch Adeboye. And I wouldn't want to offend any single one of you. That's not my purpose for coming to you guys today. And I would just want us to discuss like civilized people and then talk about the issue at hand, not about the person. Like I have said before, I am not in the business of attacking men of God. No, 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 no. I criticize what they say. There is a difference between attacking an individual as a person and criticizing what they say or do. There is a difference between these two things. And I am not in the business of attacking men of God. No, I wouldn't even encourage people to do that. I am in the business of criticizing what men of God say and do for educational purposes only. And I will hope that many of you out there will start talking, will start criticizing. When you see something someone is doing, it doesn't matter if the person is a man of God or not. When you see something that anyone is doing that you think is wrong, that you think those individuals should not be doing things like this or saying stuff like that, it is your responsibility as a citizen of the world to share your thoughts and opinion, to criticize them in a very constructive way, obviously. So my daddy here in the Lord is outraged because people are discussing about tithing. And according to my daddy, he doesn't understand what the problem is all about. He doesn't understand why there is so much talking about tithing. He doesn't understand why people feel the need to start talking about tithing. To him, this is just like a deflection from the main thing. Because after all, tithing is in the Bible. And in order for anyone to go to heaven, that person must be a tither. Because he who is not paying his tithe is not going to heaven. Full stop. The man of God said. So let me just point this out to the man of God. I know he is very smarter than myself, and I really respect him for the enormous job he has done, for someone to be able to build the huge following that he has and the number of churches that he has built. That individual needs to be very talented. That individual needs to have something that most people do not have, because it is not something that the ordinary Joe at the corner of the street can do. No, 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 no. It's not. It's not. It's not. So I thank God for my daddy, Papa Enoch Adeboye, for all the amazing things he has been doing. But I will say this: the reason people are talking about tithing is because it's something very important to them. People do not just wake up and start talking about issues that they do not find concerning. People do not just wake up and start talking about things that they don't find is related to them. People do not wake up and start talking about things that they do not believe affects their lives. So if people are talking about something, it's because they have found out that that thing is important to them. And that is the reason why they are talking about it. Now, my daddy in the Lord might not go along with this. It's okay. He doesn't really need to go along with it. Everyone has their own opinion, right? And if my daddy in the Lord honestly believed that, there is no need for people to be talking about tithing, that is fine. That is fine. But people who believe that it is at their benefit to talk about it will keep on talking about it. That is it. So, like I have said before, people, anyway, to the best of my knowledge, or this is my own take, people aren't talking about tithing because they don't want to give it. No. People are talking about tithing because of the way tithing was being put on the table, because of the way it was being brought to the members. Remember, tithing was not brought as something you did because you are feeling graceful. Tithing was not brought to the members, was not told to them as something you do because you are feeling blessful. It was told to them that it is something you do when you want the Lord to bless you. It is something you do when you want to be a devoted Christian. And if you're not doing it, your life on earth is not secure. Like my daddy, Bishop David Oyedepo, will say or have said, Job was not paying his tithe, but he was committed to giving liberally. He was committed to giving to poor people in his community. He was committed to supporting the poor and the needy in his community. And God was blessing him enormously. But his word was not secure. His life was not secure because he wasn't a tither. So if you want your life to be secure, you must be a tither. The only way you can have your life secure is to become a tither. It doesn't matter if you give liberally. It doesn't matter if you support your community. It doesn't matter if you support poor children in an orphanage. Those children who have no parents. It doesn't matter if you are there supporting them. As long as you don't give to the church, all your worth is not secure. That was what our bishop, David Oyedepo, will want us to believe. And I wonder who told them all this. Is it really from God or from them? Because I have never heard someone said that a precondition for heaven was tithing. That on the last day, during judgment, God would check first if you were a tither or not before any other thing. Or if tithing overrides all the other things you might not have been doing. I don't know. You see, money is a very, very powerful force, and people must be careful when they talk about issues related to money. Our men of God, our daddy in the Lord, know the truth about tithing, but are willing to tweak the whole thing, to go around the corner, just so they can keep on collecting their precious tithe. The men of God have lived big on tithing, and they are now obsessed with tithing. They have been overtaken by tithing. And so they will say whatever they need to say, if just so their tithing can keep coming. They don't care. They really do not care. They really, really do not care. They would collect tithe every day, every time. And they will make tithe an important pillar of their church. Everyone must pay tithe. Everyone, they will say. Aren't they aware of the current economic situation in Africa? Don't they see how their own Christians are suffering? Don't they have any shred of sympathy for those people who are less privileged in our society? Don't they see how those people, their Christians, are starving day in, day out? Don't they feel pity for them? Really? Don't they think that it would be a godly thing if they came out and said, listen, you can tithe if you want. You can tithe if you have the means to do so. But do not feel the need to do it if you cannot afford it. don't they think that if they said something like this, it's going to go a long way to reduce the burden on their members? Because anyone who want the best for you, who is looking out for you, would make sure that they say and do things that would benefit you. Haven't they realized this by now? I mean, they are so educated. Haven't they realized this? Do I need to point this out for them? Do I? It's really a shame. It's really a shame. So I will hope that a day will come when men of God will take upon themselves to start doing the correct things, to start saying the right things. I really, really hope so. I really hope so.